Do you understand that statement, I guess, as women, as actors, as creatives, that maybe that there's still an age thing that's maybe a slight barrier? Anybody jump in, go for it.
When do you ever hear a guy say, well, now that I'm in my 40s, never.
Rolls are drying up.
Yeah, just, you know.
I don't know, I got the gray around the temples and now I'm uneffable.
I'm not the ingenue anymore. I've never heard a dude say that ever.
Wait, Kari, did you say my balls are drying up?
I didn't. I said the rolls were drying up, but hey.
But also...
So what I want you to do is, I want you to keep clapping when I announce each of our lovely guests. Just keep clapping till they sit down. Can we do that? Okay, let's warm our hands. I'll shake out, guys. You're a tiger. You're a tiger. And then just give us a little baby clap. Tiny baby, little tiny baby hands, so soft. Don't hurt them. Now medium claps. Slap those hands together. Please welcome to the stage is Natalie Van Sistine. Where's Natalie? Come on up. Keep it going, you guys. Whip and cheer. Please take a seat. We've got Samantha Kelly, Shipman, Kari Wahlgren, and Courtenay Taylor. Keep it going, they're not sat down yet. Not sat down yet. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome to TooManyGames. Wow, they're quite high above our heads. That's why I took them right now.
Get out of here.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the panel. So, we're talking about women in games today, but before we start really getting into it, I wanted to ask about your first ever job in voice. So obviously acting is acting, but what was your first ever job sort of doing voice acting? Who wants to start? Should we start at the very end?
Oh God.
You're first, Natalie, go.
My very first was a audio drama. I started doing voiceover online, actually. I thought it would be like a fun, I was looking for like community theater, essentially, because my family had relocated to the middle of nowhere, and I was going online trying to find community. And I had done theater, I had played a lot of music, and I was looking for anything to do, and audio drama caught my eye right away. And so I was in an audio drama. It was like a future sci-fi thing. I did not remember most of it. I was playing an alien princess, and yeah, I have no idea if it's still out there at all. I don't even remember the name of it, but I was really, really excited to play that alien princess.
Yay. One time, one of my first jobs was I played a baby cow in a video about the cycle of life for like the cattle women of Montana. So
That's amazing.
I was the baby cow, and I was like,
Can we have a demonstration?
Sure. This is the cycle of life. And then there was a scene where there was actual like poop. It was like this baby cow is explaining it just all goes into the, and so yeah, my first job.
That's amazing. I don't know. I don't want to follow that. So mine, I answered an ad in an actor's newspaper, and they said that they were having auditions for a new animated project, but they didn't say what it was. And so I went and auditioned, and they said, we really like you. We want you to come back for a callback. We're going to send you home with a VHS tape because I'm 100 years old.
What's a VHS tape, Kari?
I know, right? Well, it's a tape that they used to watch things on. And they said, you're not going to understand what's on it because it's all in Japanese, but just see if you can kind of capture the vibe and the sound of this character. So I went home and I watched it, and there's this chick, and she's riding in on a Vespa, and she's like, dance time! There's a boy. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. But I went to the callback, and they said, have you ever dubbed before? We really like you. And I said, no, but I'd love to learn. And that's how I booked Haruko in FLCL.
I grew up watching anime, and then I'm luckily from Dallas, so I was kind of just where Funimation was. I didn't figure that out till college, and I felt kind of stupid. But I got really lucky. I got to go do an open audition like 2012. Yeah, like 2012. And so I think the first thing I ever did was I did a Wallace session where we just had a bunch of us go and be cats. Because they were all at a cat cafe, and they were like, well, we need some meowing, so.
We have a demonstration.
Oh, yes. It was just like a lot of like very cute, and just do that like 8 times, because there's like 30 cats. So yeah. Yeah, I know, right? It's great. Courtney, what about you? We've had a cow, but a cat. Were you like a lizard or a snake or?
Actually, my first job, I didn't start doing games for a while. My first job was actually the first audition I actually went out on ever.
Wow.
I booked it was, and this is for any aspiring actors, I grew up in San Francisco, and it was an advertisement for a hospital that was based in San Francisco, and basically it was a love letter to San Francisco. So it was like, we built a castle in the fog, and we made a garden out of sand, and so it was talking about the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was talking about Golden Gate Park, and it was like, I'm a proud San Franciscan, and so I booked it. I knew I would, because I was just like, this is my city. And so it was like right out of the gates an example of really, if it's a character, if it's a product, a service or whatever, to make sure that you have some attachment to it, that you really love it. And I've found that, at least in the commercial stuff that I've done, like I was the voice of Caesar dog food for 10 years, and it was because in the audition, I just really was talking to my dog that I loved, and so,
So sweet. I love that. It does help when you're passionate about something, especially if you're an actor, you want to really connect to something in the back of your mind. So I wanted to ask, off the back of that, have any of you played particular roles where you were like, you know what, that really spoke to me, and you went there and it was deep and you kind of connected to a character? Should we start? Let's start at the other end again. Let's go all the way to the other end.
I think one of the most emotional experiences I've had is there's a show called Vinland Saga, and it's wonderfully, it just handles all the subject matter so well, but it does cover a lot of very dark and deep things. And so I play a character named Arnave, and she goes through a tremendous amount of hardship and abuse, and just constantly has everything she loves taken from her. And there's this one part where what really broke me was that she has this scene where she's like, I just want to be happy, and I'm willing to try to be happy and just take whatever is given to me and try to make the best of it, and it keeps blowing up in my face. And that really resonated very, very strongly with me, because I've fallen into that mentality where I'm like, okay, I should just, whatever I have, I should just be happy I have that and not want anything more. And if I want anything more, then I have the chance of it being taken away from me. So that's like a scary thing to want. And then for her to be like, I tried to do everything right, and still that's not good enough. And I don't know why I even bother even hoping that even that bare minimum is enough for me. Oh my gosh, that was devastating and I was fortunately at a place where I was on the other side of that in my life, but recording that, every day I would go in for her, I'd record an episode, and then I'd go home and I'd scoop up my little fluffy dog and go to bed for like 3 hours and just be like, I'm okay, I'm fine, it's okay. But it was, I really love that character and that show, because it was it covers so much dark material, but it was so respectful and so good about the way it covered that material. So for me, if you can tell those stories and tell them so honestly, they're gonna resonate so hard, and it's really incredible.
Just out of curiosity, how many people here are thinking, I want to be an actor? I mean, is it okay, so the thing that she's talking about is huge, because when you have things happen to you in your real life, and it would be something that other people are going, this is horrible, I can't believe this is happening to me. When it's happening to you and you're an actor, you're saving it up and you're going, I'm gonna use this for what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be important and useful. For me, it was like the most recent was the Princess Peach Showtime game, and it was the very final thing where she goes up against evil, and I was just in this kind of a mode where I was going, there's a lot of things in the world that I was just mad at, and I didn't know what to do with that anger, and I wanted it to be something glorious and bright and powerful as a woman and as that character. And so in that final scene, they were going, okay, so this is going to be hard. We're probably going to do a bunch of takes on this, but you're coming against evil with everything in you. And I did it, and I meant it with everything in me. And they're like, that's good, that'll do. So that was it. It was one take.
Trying to think of, I mean, I can think of characters where I've thought, oh, I resonate with something I've gone through or something that, like now I'm a mom, and so anything that relates to having a kid feels extra intentional and extra deep. But I would also say that there were characters or franchises that I loved growing up and that were very instrumental in my life. Like Batman the Animated Series was very instrumental in my life growing up and really made me want to become a voice actor. So years later, working in that universe, it brought an extra bit of like, this affected me so deeply when I was young that I want to make sure that if I'm doing anything in the Batman universe, that I'm bringing, that I'm, honoring it, so to speak. So I don't know if that's quite the same thing, but yeah, I always want to do service and honor to the characters and the franchises that I loved growing up as well.
There was a show I did, it's called New Game, and I was at this time in my life where I had taught full-time for 3 years. I quit because I hated it. I mean, I didn't hate kids, it was not the spot for me. And so my husband was like, well, we'll be fine, just, why don't you just really dive into acting and do all that? And I was like, okay. And so right after I quit, I got to do this show. I mean, and it's about this lovely young girl named Alba, and she is working at her dream job. It's like a video game company, and she's all these people that she's admired and loved. And I just really resonated with that because I was at a point where I quit my job that I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do with my life. And then I quit, and then that didn't work out. And so now I'm trying to like embrace this whole like, okay, well, maybe I should start hustling and doing this whole acting thing. And it just kind of was working out. And so there were a lot of parallels while I was recording that show. And it was just really lovely to have an experience where I got to voice a character that was going through things that I had either recently gone through or I was so close to experiencing that same thing. And it was just really nice. It was really lovely to have those parallels. So I really loved working on that show a lot. So, yeah.
Thank you. Courtney?
Oh, I think for Fallout 4, I was the female player voice for that, and I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble with it because I don't have kids, and the male player did have kids, so I felt, on top of not having, but also being the mirror image of somebody who does, and I was like, oh God, and it was really surprising when we did the opening scene for that game, much of which did not, unfortunately, make it into the game. The idea of loss, of coming out of cryo freeze, having seeing your child and your partner, was so it brought up something in me that I didn't know I had in me. And like it was a brutal session where I was crying and I looked over and the director was crying and the engineer at one point was crying, and then at the end, the closing monologue of Fallout 4, where she's talking about how her life was before the war and before the bombs hit, and that her life isn't anything that she envisioned for herself, but that she's going to move forward and find a way in this new place, was so like I still get very emotional about it because I feel like that's something that everybody can relate to, even if it's not about that video game. It's like, things happen in your life and you have to make sense of them and put the pieces together. And it felt super universal to me, but also I was terrified because I also knew I had to say, war never changes. And that is like an iconic thing. And so there was like the pressure of being this actor, doing this role, but then also I couldn't get through it without crying. And so it's so interesting. I finally went back and listened to the male player character's version of it. And he's like, this is how it's going to go. And I'm like, I'm talking about the heat and everything. And it fucked me up for a long time. Sorry to use the F word, but it was
on my
really
panel.
surprising.
You can swear.
It was really. I didn't think I was gonna. It came out of kind of nowhere.
How wonderfully amazing, though, that all of you get to get this catharsis through your work that not many people get if they're doing a 9-to-5 or they're behind a desk. I always say to people, go do an acting class. It's so amazing. You learn so much about yourself, like doing it.
And even with that, like, even things that you don't even know that you're. She's talking about war. Yeah. She's talking about a specter of something that is like everyone's been touched by, everyone's thought about, everyone's been fearful in some way at some point. And so it's like even getting to sort of explore that stuff that you didn't even know that you had in you or were afraid of or were dealing with. It's a gift.
But again, even though you're saying, I didn't have those experiences, we still all experience the same emotions, and that's what connects us. I guess when people come up to your tables and they say, oh my God, this role meant so much to me, oh my gosh, that's the power of that. Yeah. That is very powerful. Someone got some tissues, oh my God, you guys. I wanted to ask a general question, actually, that may not just apply to women in games, but anyone wanting to enter this industry, and anyone feel free to join in. I have to backtrack a little bit. So as I approached my 40s, I was very nervous about getting into this new decade, even though being in your 40s is not old. Although my knees say otherwise, and my waistline. But I'm less scared about that now. But a friend of mine in the industry, she's a lovely actor, she went, as a woman, stop saying you're in your 40s. She's like, you shouldn't say that. As a woman, you won't get work. But I've worked more in my 40s than I have otherwise. Do you understand that statement, I guess, as women, as actors, as creatives, that there's still an age thing that's maybe a slight barrier? Anybody jump in, go for it.
When do you ever hear a guy say, well, now that I'm in my 40s, never.
Rolls are drying up.
Yeah, just,
I don't know, I got the gray around the temples and now I'm ineffable.
I'm not the ingenue anymore. I've never heard a dude say that ever.
Wait, Kari, did you say my balls are drying up?
I didn't. I said the rolls were drying up, but hey.
But also,
Love that. I was like, I heard balls. Sorry, guys.
although speaking of balls, I was going to say.
We're going there. Buckle up, kids. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Speaking of balls, I feel that this is a perfect segue to Dawn to Dawn. If anybody's watching that anime, if you're not watching it, you should be watching it. And I auditioned. I auditioned for this role called Turbo Granny, and they called my agents and they said, "Well, Kari didn't get that role, but we have another grandma. It's a hot granny."
Yes.
And we think Kari can play the hot granny. And then I bring this up because it's been one of the most fun, just layered, awesome, over it, badass, sexy roles that I've played in a long time. And on top of that, I've been it just happened to be working out that instead of like the young, scrappy kid, I'm booking Ma Kent in the Superman series, or I'm booking Aunt May in the young Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And so I'm in my matron era, and I'm here for it.
Yes. Nice.
Like, I'm here for
Yes.
it. I, quite honestly, like, I don't want to be playing the same roles right now that I've played for the last 20 plus years. It's interesting, it's fun for me to be playing something different. And I do feel a certain tiny bit of responsibility at this point in my career that now when I'm on a panel, present company kind of excluded, although I think some youngins are, but I'm usually one of the oldest people on the panel now. And if I can, be, I don't know, an example or, I don't know, some sort of role model. I say all this like, yeah, I'm really selling it, right? I don't know. If I can be a role model to the youngins coming up in this business, great.
Kari, your balls aren't dry yet, don't
My
worry.
balls aren't completely dried out, so I've got so much more ball shrinkage in my future. But yeah, so, I want to evolve and change and grow, and yeah.
Also, I just have to say, I think that that's bullshit that they spoon feed to women all the time. Like, oh, if you have kids, you're not going to work. And every woman I know who's had children
I
are
have
like,
I have an almost 2-year-old now, and I have friends that are having kids, and they go, I'm kind of scared. Like, do you think people are just not going to call me in anymore? And I go, no. If they do, they're idiots. I don't know. Like,
most of my friends who have kids, I do not have
and
children,
I'm like,
but they work more now.
Right, and I
think.
hate that that's like a fear for them. I'm
Because
like,
really, here's the tea, you guys. If you have children, they go to school with
They do.
other children who have parents who are going to hire you. So actually,
Yeah.
I have been like, damn it, I should have kids because that's a really great way to get jobs, apparently, in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the dog park works out okay, but it's not quite the same as having children enrolled with other children.
right.
But ladies, weigh in.
I find it interesting. I sat down with my agent recently and I was like, okay, I'm really happy with where things are going. I feel like I'm making a lot of connections. I'm booking consistently. I just want to know, like, what do I need to be working on? What can I continue to do? And he sat there and he's like, I don't have notes about your acting. Like, you're continuously in our top picks. Like, we really feel comfortable submitting you for a lot of different things. And he goes, well, no, that's not even your fault. And he goes, what I do think is something that, I don't know if you want to try to work on this part of your range. As you can tell, my speaking voice is a little bit naturally lower. I tend to play a lot of more mature, or the youngest I get is like older sister, and then occasionally I can get like a scrappy little boy in there. But what he was running into is he's like, you can act, you can sound like a teenager or a younger kid, but there is a very real barrier with a lot of casting directors where they hear a slightly lower tone and they go, well, that can't be someone under the age of 30. Like, that's a barrier that they keep running into. And he's like, your acting is not the problem. He's like, we just have to keep working and pitching. And so for me, that, if anything, that's like, okay, cool. I want to continue to work on the acting element because I can't necessarily change the tone of my voice, but, and knowing that I focusing on what I have control over, because I can't immediately go in and alter my voice. My voice is what it is, and it also is why people cast me and why they like me specifically. Like, I don't sound like anyone else on this panel.
Also,
we're all going to
whatever.
bring our own unique qualities to every role. So for me, I try not to think about the stuff that's like out of my control. Like me getting older, whatever happens to my voice, I won't have control over that. And it is frustrating when you hear like, well, we want this for these very arbitrary reasons. And like Megan said, usually when they say that, they're idiots. So that's kind of how
I've
I
sounded
approach
like this since I was 3. I'm like, my godparents are like, you used to walk in, like, kick open the door and be like, where are the toys?
Right, and
So,
if you
like-
actually listen to real teenagers, very few of them sound like they're on helium all the time. So I don't know where this illusion came from.
As someone who has voiced many teenagers, I don't get. I always go, "Hi, I'm coming home from school now," blah, blah, blah. And it's like we don't talk.
They talk like this. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that was so whatever.
And with age too, I kind of like getting older because it's very true what they say. The older you get, the less you care. but in like a good way, you know. And so there are things that might have seemed really dramatic, because I see so many people in the Dallas community. I'm sure it's true in like every acting community. Like newer people are always coming in, and I feel like they're always like, oh my God, they're like crazy worker bees that are like they're trying to do everything and all at once, and it's every little thing they have to hyper focus, and it's the end of the world. And like but as you get older, it's like you realize that's not a big that thing that I worried about endlessly. That's not a big deal. I could put my energy into something else and it'll be a lot more productive. So I don't know. It's just nice getting older, because with the age just comes this sense of self, I guess. Like you kind of find your place and where you just are in your community and in the acting sphere that you're in, and it's just nice to have that sense. And there's not to say that you're not constantly growing and changing and keep going, but it is nice as you get older to not feel like, oh God, this is the end of the world. I ruined my chance. I said the wrong thing, and I did. So I don't know. It's just kind of nice.
I'd like to give a shout out too, as because I've been directing on games for a couple years now, and I'm currently working on a game right now that has multiple badass women characters over the age of 60.
Yeah.
And they are by far some of the best characters in this game. They are total badasses, and it's not like, oh, you're gonna be badass granny. Like, it's not a trope. It's just they happen to be of a certain age, and they will also snipe your ass. And so I'm here for it, and the more that we get that kind of writing that gives women agency at different ages, and just people in general, just representation of people at certain ages in different parts of their lives, with all different types of representation, that's the writing I think that people really want. And I think that finally it's, people who create media need to listen to that, because the audience is much smarter and much more interested in a wider breadth of things than I think that we've ever been given credit for.
I have to ask you about this game. Is it the game I've always wanted to play, a Golden Girls RPG?
Man, you know what? Somebody hit me up. If you are making this game, I want to direct it. I want to act in it. I want to play it. But no.
Oh, dang it. God damn. Now, you haven't gotten a chance to weigh in on this.
I love everything that everyone's saying. And I mean, I think also you guys have a role in being authentically who you are, because what you're hearing is that there's no right answer. And that's where we get stuck. And I think as women, but also just as humans, that we go, well, I've got to come up with the right answer. What's the right answer? No, you are the right answer. And so if you can just unapologetically be what's in you with your voice, there's a need for that. You can find your place for it. And I think it's just being brave and not being afraid.
Thanks, you guys. I mean, it's a weird thing, because I guess when I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, it was very much like, well, there was a lot of masculine. I watched a lot of males, sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger films. I love Total Recall and all this really kind of butch sort of films. And it's so changing now. It's not, and we don't get sent away to some island when you're past 40. It's like, that's not what happens, you guys. We made it off the island.
Into the sunset.
Can I make a request on the island? Because I'll go.
Yeah.
If it's the Maldives, I'm in.
What do you want on the island?
I want to go to the Maldives, and I want to not come back.
Sail me off to it.
Exactly.
But I mean, if it's an island of all women, I mean, I think it'd
With
be
a
great.
young
Also, totally into that. I'm fine. Yeah.
It could be very chill.
Yes.
I take that back. Let's all go to. Do you guys want to go to the island with us?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get tanned real good.
Yeah.
We'll be really
Mai
healthy.
tais.
Yeah.
Mai tais on the beach.
That's the rule.
You call it an island. I call it a compound. Whatever.
Tomato, tomato. Let's get some fan questions going, because we do have a mic right here. And if you have a question for anybody on this panel, please don't be shy. Please stand right here. We will not look straight into your eyeballs.
It only takes one
I will
person
make
getting
uncomfortable eye contact, so get your
right.
sweet ass up there, people.
Unless that's your thing. No king shaming.
It only takes one person getting up there, and then
I'm gonna
5 more
squint
follow.
like
I
I've
promise.
never squinted
See, look.
before.
We got it.
There's already 5 more people. Yay!
Hello, my love. What's your name?
Jalissa. I'm a huge fan of all your guys' works.
Yay.
Really great. I just met Kari and Michelle earlier, so it's always nice meeting you. I was wondering, what's a role, we were talking about like different roles, what's a role that that's like a role that was a little more niche, like the series was a little more niche, that you really enjoyed working on, that you wish more people would appreciate?
A niche role that you wish people would
Like
appreciate?
a character that was in a very niche, obscure series that you really enjoyed, that wish more people got to recognize.
Man, that describes my whole career. I will say, when people are like, what's one of the titles you wish more people saw? Last Exile is an anime that not a lot of people saw, and it's a kind of a steampunk aesthetic, which I love. And it's this post-apocalyptic little family, and these kids, these orphaned kids, kind of find each other and form this pseudo family to get through this dystopian universe, and I really loved it.
Anybody else?
I don't know if this counts as niche, but I feel like it's getting more niche because I feel like the fan base is it's shifting, it's becoming a different thing. I really love Love Live. Thank you. See, okay, 2 claps. It's becoming more niche. Okay, that's niche. It's becoming more niche. Which I mean, it's still around. It's just the localization isn't really happening as much as it used to. But I love that so much, and I played Hanamaru in Love Live Sunshine, and
Yeah, they just had their final, Awkward's just had their final live
I was
this past
sobbing on my
weekend.
couch. I was texting Natalie. I was like, Natalie, I'm sitting in my bed eating dinner and crying over these poor idol girls.
Yeah.
And I'm sad and I'm crying. But yeah, I love that mainly because when I recorded it, I loved her, and it was really great because my favorite girl in Muse is also Rin, and so having that whole storyline about Hanamaru, seeing Rin and being like, oh yeah, she's so inspiring. I'll do that. I can do that. And I was like, I can't do this to myself. So yeah, I love that. I mean, it's kind of old now, which is weird to think of.
Awkward's is like 10 years old.
It's like 10 years. I was like, 10?
Yeah.
How? But yeah, so I love that. So.
Anyone else, you guys, at the end?
Well, it is Pride. I will say one of my favorites that I love working on. There's a small visual novel studio that I work with, and I will drop everything to work with them anytime. And they focus on women love women games in particular. And I worked on this one series. It was 5 episodes that were released over a course of I think 7 or 8 years. So it was wild to watch my career totally change overnight, in the course of working on this game, where I was in episode 1 versus episode 5. But this game is called National Park Girls, and hear me out. It sounds ridiculous, but it is this very world-weary, antisocial park ranger who ends up becoming roommates with the personification of several of the national parks. And it's really cute, and it is staggeringly well written. I love this author. I don't know, he wrote it as a joke, and then it ended up being one of the most heartfelt projects I've ever worked on. I really love it. It talks about depression and grief and dissatisfaction. So please, and it's so cheap too. It costs $5 to go get the whole thing. So please go get National Park Girls. I love it so much. Also, romantic female couple too. So love that.
Okay, Samantha, and then we'll go Courtney.
Gosh, I did sign one thing, but I feel like I can't even speak to it because mine is so kind of shallow compared to what you guys are sharing. I did the character of Sunny Day in Backyard Sports series, and I love that little girl. And I was just it was ages, and a guy came to my table today and brought one to sign, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time, and it just made me happy because I like kids.
Thank you. Finally, Courtney, what about you?
I don't really have a niche thing. I mean, I guess OKKO seems kind of neat.
All right.
This convention has more love for that show than a lot of other places I've been. But to me, that was it's kind of like a. I mean, yes, it was an amazing thing. It was niche for me because I didn't get to
I hadn't played like happy, sweet little characters. That was kind of off-brand for me, and has now since opened up my brand. But and brand is a lame word, but you know what I mean. Like now I'm like, oh, I can actually do that. I didn't know I could, and just to get to like work with one of my best friends all the time and like get to meet all of these incredible people that like the women from Ghoul School and like all these the singer for Korn, all these weird people. Like you just show up one day and there's just
Jonathan Davis is just there.
Yeah, Jonathan, like John DiMaggio is just sitting on a tiny chair and you're like okay. So for me that was niche for me, and I'm eternally grateful for it, and I'm so glad that people watch it and that it is still floating around out there somewhere.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Hello, my dear. What's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm James. This question is for Samantha Kelly. One of your final roles with Nintendo before you were unfortunately let go, that was really poorly handled, by the way, I'm sorry about that, was your role as like Toadette and Chef Toad at Super Nintendo World. And because the nature of that dialogue was very different, it was kind of like a longer sort of thing, whereas for most Nintendo games it's usually very short phrases. I'm curious if the recording process for that was any different or if it was just your normal sort of setup.
Oh, okay. I think I understood. So you're wondering, like, with Chef Toad, like, what was the process of how Chef became?
Yes, I'm wondering if that was, like, any different because it was, like, a lot of dialogue, whereas...
Yeah, it was really fun. Those, and for Peach as well, and all the Toads, because we got to record long phrases, and they had never done that before, so it was super fun. And with Chef Toad, because you come in and you don't know what you're going to be recording until you get there. And so Chef Toad, I knew there was going to be a character that didn't have a voice yet, and I was going, oh, I hope we're going to be able to come up with one. But when I saw him, his animation was so cute. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is like a French chef, and he's a toad, and there was just so much heart to him. So yeah, he just came but yeah, it was a delight to create his voice. Yeah.
And it was strange to have like Toad talking at such a regular like interval.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. And it was fun. And they also showed all the animations with all the little toads running around working in the kitchen. And I just thought, this guy is super proud of his kitchen. This guy is, he aspires to be a French chef, but he's working at the Toadstool Cafe. What would he sound like? And so it was really fun. Yeah, thank you for asking that. That's so kind.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you.
Weird. Hello, my love. Hello, friend. What's your name and question?
The mic is tall. Hi. I just want. I know of like vocal fry and damage is like very like common, like easy to get. So like I wanted to know like some ways, like navigate around it, or use it, or like utilize it, or even just prevention.
Who wants to take that one? Because we have a big line here. So someone
I'll take it.
Yeah.
As somebody who's had vocal nodes and damage, straw phonation is incredibly helpful. If you go, and this is a shameless plug, not for me, but there's a vocal straw out there that's like a metal straw. My singing teacher actually put it together. You can put in C. Taylor and you'll get 10% off. I don't get anything from it, but it is a tool that truly has saved my butt. Just straw phonating during vocally stressful sessions. It's a metal straw, and you'll basically just put it in water and start to vocalize into the straw, and it's like it realigns your vocal cords when they're getting out of alignment or if they're getting stressed. It's really helpful, and she has a whole program of really saving your voice. And as somebody who was on vocal rest for months where I couldn't speak and I thought I was going to lose my voice permanently, I can't recommend it enough.
Sounds interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, my dear. What is your name and what's your question?
Hello. My name is Ash Baby, and this is Gabby right behind me. My question is, what is the weirdest acting job you've ever been offered, and what did you take from it?
The weirdest. Who wants to take that one?
Oh, thinking.
I know.
So many to choose from.
I know. I did a pilot once, and it surprisingly did not get picked up. And it was about a little girl who made friends with the butthole of an elephant. and that show did not go.
I just don't know why.
I do want to be in the pitch meetings.
Yeah.
I want a time machine to go back.
And the butthole was just this little star kiss looking thing that would just be like, rah, 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 rah,
Did the
rah.
butthole talk?
Yes.
And I
Were you
can't
the
believe
voice
when-
of the butthole?
I was not the voice of the butthole.
Was John DiMaggio the voice of the
He
butthole?
might have been.
Probably. Just throwing it out there, guys.
Yeah, so that was probably the weirdest one.
Love it.
I'm not going to follow that.
I think
have
that's
nothing.
the best answer.
I have nothing.
If any, I don't think we can follow the butthole, so we'll leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Hello. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name is Vanessa. Courtney, I'm a huge Fallout fan.
I do have a butthole voice. What? No. Good.
Take the floor.
Just in case, maybe they bring it back or something.
They might.
I don't know.
They might.
Can we have a sample, Courtenay Taylor?
I was just wondering if you have a favorite memory while recording for Fallout 4, or a favorite memory with the community, maybe once it went out into the world.
Yes, I do. Actually, I didn't understand Fallout when I was doing, like when I will say I'm not a huge gamer. Well, I wasn't a huge gamer. Now I pay a lot more attention. I was always coming at it as like, well, it's an acting job, and and everyone said it's a big deal. Fallout is a big deal. There's a big community with Fallout, and I was like, cool. And then I went to. They had a special like preview thing at in Hollywood and Highland, and I went. They were like preview. It was like during E3 or something, and they were previewing it. And I parked my car. I drove by myself, and I went up to the wrong floor. I actually went to a floor above where I was supposed to be going, and I walked out of the elevator, and I was like, oh! And I was looking over the blocks around Hollywood and Highland in LA, which is very busy area. And I looked. I kind of walked out onto this balcony and like looked out, and I saw this massive line just down the block on both sides with people like with all their Fallout stuff, and I literally just was like, oh shit. I need to go back and re-record everything I've worked on. I'm gonna need a do-over because this is a really big deal. Not that I didn't take it like, it was very important to me, but it all just brought it home. And I just remember the blood sort of draining into my feet and me being like, oh, okay. And yeah, but it was so incredible. I had never seen anything like that.
Well, I loved your work. It was you made me cry. So.
Oh, thank you. And I'm gonna be. You guys are hearing this first, I think. The Fallout gathering in Vegas in November. Just so you guys know, there's a Fallout fan gathering that I will be going to, and it's like Fallout for 3 days. I have never been to one of these, and I'm very, very excited. And so if you can come with me, I would really appreciate that because I'm also very nervous. So let's hang out.
Love it.
Thank you.
Hello, my dear. What's your
Hello,
name?
ladies. My name is Brandon. So in the past 2 years of being an uncle, I recently began, doing a bunch of funny voices, whether they're based on real characters or not, to my niece. And I was just curious if you guys had any, voice suggestions of your own that you maybe do with your own kids or nieces that...
Well, let me tell you, those are that's the hardest room, right?
It is.
Like your kids will just be like, that sucked. And you're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, they definitely. My kid barely talks. Anything I do is funny right now.
For now.
It's for now. Yeah. I'm like, let me soak this up so that in 10 years when she's slamming the door and going, I hate you, Mom,
And also stop singing.
yeah, stop talking. I'm just gonna go. And rewind into my brain and just be like, she said she loved me one time.
Samantha, you were leaning towards the mic. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, voiceover advice.
I love it. No, I think performing for kids is a great way because you can be totally free. So I love that you're doing that. I used to do Cedric the dog. He was a little puppet that I did before I did Toad, long before I did Toad. Cedric! I have kind of a little pocket weasel voice that I like to do. Super, I'm a weasel! joyful, like happy. So I mean, like anything that you do that you just put the fun into it, kids will give you a great response, and what a way to build up your skills.
I do read Brown Bear on repeat.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. So yeah, my kid just goes, Bibi? And that's Brown Bear, Bibi? And I go, oh, Brown Bear, yes. And I go, okay. She's like the Swedish chef right now. That's how she communicates. Nuggets are nana. It's crazy. But it's like she wants me to do it. If I don't do it right, if I don't go, Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at. If I don't do it, she's like, no. She's like, no, that's not Brown Bear. I'm like, please let me. But the part that makes me exasperated is because we'll get to the very end, I'll go, and she goes, more? And she flips it back over, and I'm like, okay, we'll read this 5 more times.
So strength, tenacity, these are tips.
Perseverance.
Hydrate, moisturize.
Yeah.
You know, be bulletproof
It's not
as far
for
as
the
the
weak,
critique.
okay? It's not for the weak.
Thank you. Happy uncling. Happy uncling to you. We have 5 minutes left, so let's do speed round.
Yes, speed round.
Hello, my love. What's your name?
Hello, I will speedrun my question. Hi, I'm Ash. I'm wondering, because acting is such a fabulously creative career, what is an example of a time that you had a role that really challenged you creatively, and how did you push past that challenge?
Who wants to take that one?
Oh gosh,
you can do it.
I mean, one of the things for me is one of the shows I've worked on for a while now is Spy Family, and in Spy Family I play Yor, and her Japanese seiyuu is one of the most hysterically funny people in the world. And her ability to deliver the comedy and these line deliveries. And the way you dub anime is you listen to the original performance first, and then you come in and you give your own take. So I'm watching this incredibly talented woman just effortlessly play this character. And they go, cool, Natalie, it's your turn. And you're just like, oh no, how do I be this funny? So, I mean, very fortunately, I always say get feedback. Like, it's so easy to get locked in your brain and second guess yourself and just be like, is this funny? Is this working? I don't know anymore. So as scary as it can be, always ask for feedback. Like, what is working? And try to get feedback from multiple sources too. Like, try to be like, okay, what did you like about this? And how do I... You both get feedback from people, obviously feedback from people who know what they're doing, but then also you learn how to sift through it and go, okay, I like what you're saying. I don't know if I can do that specifically, but how do I still take the spirit of where that feedback is coming from? So for me, that's been a big thing, is just get feedback from other people. And also, if you're like looking for comedy, consume as much comedic content as possible, because that'll also kind of help you absorb, oh, this is how the timing and the delivery and how that kind of goes through. So I don't know. I'm sorry. That's usually where I go.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's a fabulous answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my love. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Jonathan. All right. At first, I don't know if this is going to be sounding embarrassing or not, but is Michelle here? No. Didn't think so. That's, Courtney, do you think...
I'll be second.
Do you think KO should have married Dendy?
You know, me personally, I am not. Marriage is a tough. I'd be cool if they lived in some kind of relationship, be it marriage or just a deep friendship. I don't know that like boys and girls always have to get married. You know, that they can, I really believe that you can have deep and meaningful relationships with people of the opposite sex, and it doesn't have to end up being a romantic. So I just love that, I mean, I still have Melissa being like, you are amazing and you matter. And like the way that she said that on my phone, and I kept it with me because she just made me feel good. So I hope that they could have that relationship in whatever form they chose.
All right. And Kari?
Can you make this really, really fast? I'm sorry, because we have to get through the
Can you describe Susie? Your performance of Susie Johnson.
Little Susie in Phineas and Ferb. She got a bad rap. She just wanted Candace to be worthy of Jeremy, and maybe Candace wasn't.
Thank you for your
thank-
question.
thank
you. Hello, my dear. I love your T-shirt. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Arabelle. When getting into voice acting, what is like the best way to start?
Oh, who wants to take that?
I just tell people nowadays to start doing it because I feel like it's become so much more accessible over the years, just with the amount of resources online. There's so much, and I also tell people join the communities that are online because it's such a small world. Like once you start doing this thing, you realize, oh, everyone just kind of knows each other, and it's true. And so I just tell people hop into communities. Voice Acting Club is a great one. They have like a whole Discord server, and just start doing it. It's just, there's guides, and Voice Acting Club has a whole resource. It's made by Kara Buckland, and she's made a whole guide on just resources and equipment and recording equipment, and she has a whole community, and it's such a nice place to be. So yeah, I tell people just don't be afraid. Just start doing it, because otherwise you'll never do it. You'll be prepping forever and ever without doing anything.
And make your own stuff.
Yeah,
make your own
stuff,
things.
Make stuff for fun.
Yeah, narrate stuff, comic dubs, audio drama. Just make it.
Just make it. Just make stuff for fun, because that's how. I mean, me and Natalie anyway. Like I know, I've talked about it a bunch. Like we just started doing stuff for fun with our friends on the internet, and now we're here. And I feel like sometimes I'm like, do I belong here? What? And then I'm like, yeah, you do. It's fine. But yeah, so just make things for fun and enjoy it and have a good time. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've run out of time, but we need to get you because you've been waiting. Come on, my friend. What's your name? Let's go.
A lot of pressure.
One question. Go for it.
My name is Frank. It's not so much of a question now because it actually just got answered, like right now. Basically, it was it's not my question per se, it's a question from one of the students I actually work with. Shout out to the Bronx and Brooklyn and everything like that. And a lot of the students there actually was asking me the question to bring up to you lovely ladies and everyone else who does voice acting as to what are other alternatives to get the exposure that they want from, sharing reels,
Who wants
I
to
think
answer
you
that?
gave some amazing advice. The one other thing I would just say is iwanttobeavoiceactor.com
Yes,
is a great
that's
website. So it answers a ton of different questions. One of our voice actor compadres set it up and answered every question that he's ever been asked at conventions. So,
And for God's sake, please take acting classes.
Yes, acting.
This is acting, and if you may luck out and get because you have a particular voice or whatever. But if you want, do you want a job or do you want a career? And if you want a career, it is not a meritocracy in that I still audition every single day. So you will audition against me and everyone else on this panel, because there is no I've gotten to the point where I just don't audition anymore and they just bring me all these amazing roles. So if you're going up against people who have 25 years of experience, 30 years of experience, if you feel like you're good to go against Kari Wahlgren, then bring it on. Bring it on. But that's the thing, that will happen. And so if you want to do this, like you would with anything else, you're not going to be like, I feel like I'm going to be a plumber tomorrow or an electrician. You'll go to school, you'll learn things, you'll work on things at home.
Take classes, study,
enjoy
train,
yourself, but
join
put the work in that it deserves.
Also, classes can be so fun, and you'll meet people, and you'll start.
I still take class.
Yeah. Take classes, meet people. You'll meet so many friends there too. So it's just a good time.
Thank you for your question. Thank you
you.
so much.
And just to clarify for everybody else, what's the name of the website?
iwanttobeavoiceactor.com.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the other one is Voice Acting Club. Go Google it.
Now, to end the panel, I have the most important question of the evening. If your butthole had a voice,
Yes.
and what would it say and what would it sound like?
This is your chance.
This is it, Courtney.
This is your chance, Courtney.
This is your time to shine. Right, where do you want to start? Should we start? Let's start down here with Natalie. What would your butthole sound like?
I'm so excited to hear your butthole voice,
I cannot
Natalie.
wait. This is the best question I've ever gotten asked.
This is amazing.
Let's see, can I do this now?
That's it. Wow, just a sound. Strong silent type. Okay.
Oh wow, I didn't expect this. Okay.
Wow. Oh, happy butt. We like it. Happy butt.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, did you just whistle like a bird?
Almost.
I was like, if I could whistle like a bird, I would. Yeah. If I were D. Bradley Baker, I would make cricket noises. But am I doing my butthole or anybody's
Your butthole.
It's got to be your butthole.
It's got to be your
Mine
butthole.
would be like, leave me alone, kid, I'm shy.
Hired.
You're hired.
Come back tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up then.
Come back tomorrow. Oh my God. Guys, that was the best end to panel ever. Thank you very much for sharing your buttholes with us and also your words of wisdom. Guys, give it on up for this wonderful, wonderful panel. Courtenay, Megan, Kari, Samantha, Natalie, keep cheering. Let's go.
Hey guys, also please come say hi. I have Nerds Vote stickers at my table. If you don't know, nerdsvote.com, please, a nonpartisan website that a lot of voice actors are part of, and we are just encouraging people to use their voice in every election, every time. Thanks.